Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tracy with TR's Tarot Talk 1111, and I took a sacred bath and did all the fun stuff, and I just wanted to take a look at twin flames today. I'm not sure. I won't say I was called to the table. Maybe my ego called me to the table this time, but I just kind of wanted to know. I'm a twin flame too. I wanted to know, I've been focusing my attention with intention on my mission work, and I've been doing a lot of private readings and a lot of private counseling sessions, and I really feel strong in what I'm doing. And so, the last transmission we had was during the new moon, bringing in the sacred, feminine. We were kind of given a channeled message to focus our attentions on ourself and let the masculine have a little breathing space, because there were going to be some endings that are being initiated in their life. They're kind of in the chrysalis themselves, going through some are going through the dark night of the soul, if they haven't. Most of them have. A lot of them are now, having their downloads and their awakenings and realizing there might be a little something more to this life than just a 3D experience. Spirit's probably showing them that really strange occurrences can happen in your life that you can't explain. It's like the mysticism of, they're awakening to their inner knowing, to maybe some of them are clairvoyant and never were before, and now they're feeling like they have these dreams that come true, or they're hearing these thoughts in their head, or whatever. The same things that have happened to us, only times 10, because our awakening was slow. It was a process. It's that tempering. But the divine masculine is an action-oriented energy, and so everything the masculine does is intense, right? It's action, it's fire-driven. And so they are going through some really, really eye-opening epiphanies and changes and serendipities, and it's happening very quickly for them, and a lot of them aren't as into their divine feminine, because the divine feminine is that, feminine energy of knowing. And, you meet men who are very spiritual and very nurturing, and not in a unmanly way, but they've embraced a lot of their feminine aspects. So they're very intuitive. They're very psychic. I've met a lot of psychic male readers. And none of them, it's not a avatar thing. I've met feminines that are female bodies that embody the masculine energies. So I'm not even going to go into the whole gender bender thing. The avatar doesn't matter. But anyhow, I've been doing some reasoning, I kind of took my bath, did some meditating, and I've been doing some reasoning, and I'm thinking, if the masculines are going through the same thing that we went through, and we're being told by spirit to focus our attention and intention on ourselves, then for how long? I really didn't get another download after that. Are we supposed to do that for a month? Are we supposed to do that indefinitely until otherwise told or shown, or what? And so, my monkey mind, I have one too, so I don't know how, Spirit's going to react to my sitting down at the table and asking for things, but I'm going to. I want to know. Are we doing good? Have we shifted energy? Is the masculine on journey in the right way? Or I don't know. I want to get nosy. So, if you're a divine feminine and you want to know what your masculine's doing, this reading is for that. And if you're a masculine and you kind of want to know what your feminine's doing, you might get a glimmer of that as well here too. It's not either or, right? I'm going to look at the feminine's energy. I'm going to look at the masculine's. It's going to be a normal twin flame reading, except for one thing. I wasn't really told by spirit to do it. maybe I was. You know, you never know. Sometimes when you get these urges to do things, you think it's your urge, but it's really an urge from beyond. So either way, here I am. I was inspired to do it by something, whether it's ego or higher self. We're going to take a look at the divine feminine, divine masculine energies at this current time. And if we get really vague messages, then we'll know that maybe we need to still continue doing what we're doing and kind of give him an energy break, you know, without tapping into his higher self too often to see what he's doing. Okay, so divine masculine and feminine's current energy together, Spirit. Show me where they are in the 5D as far as planning. Are we on target? Are we vibrationally aligning? What do we need to know about where? Awaiting results. 7 of Pentacles. So, okay, I'm starting to see a pattern here. Both of us, they're waiting, we're waiting. Okay, it's like things are on hold. So I want to take a look at the masculine's energy. Ooh, bottom of the deck, darkest fears. So there's some low vibrational stuff that has to be cleared out still. Okay, but let's take a look at the masculine's energy, please. Where is the masculine on his path and journey? Where is the masculine on his path and journey? Ooh, there we go. Okay, so we have the Tower. And we have reach out. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm going to clarify these too because I want to know what the Tower is. What is the Tower in this situation for the masculine? What is the Tower situation with the masculine? What is this Tower? Oh, the Tower is he's tired of feeling hopeless and helpless. He feels stuck like Chuck. Whether he's in a marriage, a relationship, or a situationship at work, you know, there's so many ways a third-party energy can show up. It does not have to mean cheating or being in love with somebody else, although sometimes it is. Either way, we have the 8 of Swords. This masculine is facing a crossroad, and he has a decision to make. And he's facing his true north, right? I'm assuming. That's what I'm hearing in my head, but I don't know really whether it's north, south, east, or west. But he sees his way forward. But in order to, there's clearly a path, and there's some journeying left to do, some mountains to climb. But what he wants is just beyond, right? And really, he can't get it wrong. If you're a twin flame, you can't get it wrong. Whether you take the left way or the right way, right? You're still going in the same direction. You're just going to have different challenges dependent on your choices. Because every road leads to where you're supposed to be. But he doesn't know this. He's just awakening to this antsy feeling of being stuck, of being unable to move forward, to pursue his dreams. He feels 7 of Pentacles. He knows that there's a firm foundation here. He knows what he wants. He just doesn't really see his way yet to get it, because he's going to have to make a choice. And I believe that part of his choice is he's going to have to reach out. Okay, he's going to have to be willing to communicate. I'm hearing communicate. I don't know why it's 3 of Pentacles, but and not just with the feminine. I think the communication needs to be, to the third party, whether it's his boss. I'm working too many hours and I don't have time for creative play. I don't have time to be me. I don't have time. I've been chasing that almighty dollar, that 7 of Pentacles, trying to plant a future for myself. And so it's going to be very difficult for them to face their workaholic nature or maybe they're in a job they hate, and nobody who's awakening can stay in the low vibration of hate for very long, because you literally are transcending that with your vibration since your activation, your awakening. So your jobs, if you don't love them, suddenly become very hard to participate in. And that's part of your awakening. I went through that. I quit my job. I quit a couple of jobs. And I started my YouTube business, and I was shown and led by Spirit to help others who feel as crazy and stupid as I do. Like, I couldn't talk to anybody about my twin flame. They're like, really? Like, we'd have thought you'd have learned your lesson by now. I mean, that guy's been around forever. Shouldn't you just kind of move beyond that, Tracy? But they didn't understand this spiritual connection that feels like I could get the sharpest pair of scissors or razors in the world and go cutting cords on this person, and yet they're never gone. They're still there. And not only are they there like a nuisance, but they're there like they changed my life. Every time they show up, I learned something, and sometimes it's a painful learning, 2x4 upside the head, and sometimes it's not. Well, we went through that. They're going through that right now. And because they're not predominant feminine energy, they're struggling more than we did, because they're not as tapped in, turned on to their intuitive, empathic, higher chakras as we are, because we know that the feminine chakras are the upper chakras and the masculine chakras are the lower chakras. But this great awakening that's happening, we are marrying the divine masculine, divine feminine in the heart space. The higher heart chakra system is coming on board through the Stargate. And there are others that Spirit hasn't given me names for yet, but there are other chakra systems that are coming on board. So I'm really channeling today. So strengthening bonds, okay? Somehow, some way, this masculine is going to have to get on board. Collaboration, 3 of Pentacles. He's going to have to be willing to co-create with his feminine and strengthen this foundation, these bonds. There's apologies that need to be made. There's energy that needs to be cleared. There's communication. I'm hearing communication that needs to be had. He needs to, tell his boss, I can't do this anymore. You're going to have to give me a raise or give me less hours. Or maybe he just walks up and says, I'm giving you my notification because I can't do this anymore. Here's my resignation, right? Or if it's a wife, or because the masculine can show up in feminine deity bodies, it could be the husband, whoever's embodying the masculine archetype energy. And they're just going to walk up to the partner that no longer resonates with them, that they have cleared karma with. The karmic tie should be done and over with. The contract needs to end. And yet it's hard, because change is hard, right? Admitting defeat for a man is hard. Admitting that they have to sacrifice, their empire that they built with this karmic person. And that means that they're going to have to split it or share it. And that's hard for the masculine archetype. So this is where I feel a lot of them are on their journey right now, is they're feeling helpless and hopeless, because they have a choice to make. They're at a crossroad in their life. And this is creating tower energy. This is divinely guided. This is a wake up for them. Okay? And so they're going to have to work on that throat chakra, because see, the masculine dominion is the lower chakras. He's moving, trying to open his heart space. It's difficult. So he might be working on some of the other chakras. And it looks like he should be talking, communicating, collaborating, reaching out, communicating. And for others, because there's 2 groups, I feel, some need to communicate to their karmic partners or their parents or whatever the energy is that prevents them from pursuing their highest and best life. I'm not going to say that they need to do it for the feminine, because that's not how twin flame works. Twin flame is they do the highest and best. They marry themselves first. They've got to choose themselves, their own joy, their own happiness, their own wholeness. They have to become complete and whole within themselves and not need anybody's validation out there, not his brothers, not his sisters, not his mothers, not his grandmothers, not his best friends, right? And the same goes if it's not a relationship, if it's a job, or if it's taking care of their parents. It's like, listen, I am no longer happy in the roles that I am playing and the masks that I am wearing. It is not my authentic self. And I want to change that. I want to take those masks off. I want to become my highest and best self. I want to love myself. I don't need you to show me how to do that. It's an awakening and awareness of inner marriage of the masculine and feminine energies. It's loving yourself and realizing that you're worth every bit of it. And out there somewhere is your divine counterpart who's going to magically be drawn to you like a magnet when you're in the same vibration, when you're a perfect match. And so you start cleaning it up, right? They're cleaning up. And part of the cleanup mess that the feminines also went through back during, like, way back, like I want to say February, they're learning the lessons that they cannot, if they lived in a cul-de-sac, they can't clean up their neighbors' yards. They can't fix anybody but themselves. If they want to have a better experience, they need to create that for themselves. Like, if I want a nice home and nobody else out there wants to be on board with that, then you have to maybe choose to accept how they choose to live and just make your home the highest and best experience that you can possibly make it to bring you joy, because ultimately you're the one that has to live there. Well, some of these masculines have been living someplace that they no longer like, and they no longer want to be there, and they no longer vibrate with that, and it's trying to fall away. When vibrations don't match, then there's cognitive dissonance. It's like we just don't gel anymore. We just don't get along. I just don't want to be there anymore. And so this person, it has to go, or this job has to go, or this house, or this belief system, or whatever it is that you have now transcended and you're a little higher frequency, they fall away. And so some of these masculines are in situations or relationships that they hate, 8 of Swords, and don't want to be there, and they feel helpless. They can't see the way out. And Spirit says the only way out is through. They have to reach out. They have to communicate their own wants, their own needs. They have to choose their own happiness, choose to quit being a people pleaser, choose to quit being in relationships that they hate just because of what others might think or say for them leaving it, and jobs that they hate because they're fearful that they can't make their ends meet or survive, which is poppycock, because we're creator beings. If you want to be a victim, you can be a victim. It's a choice. But if you want to experience a high vibrational life, then that too is a choice. And they're learning all these little things, right? They're being divinely guided to readers and people who show them how to awaken, because they're going through it, like me and like other readers who are going through it, right? And so, sorry, I'm really channeling today. So maybe I was divinely called. So the masculine is navigating. They were the initiate, and they're becoming the adept, right? They're awakening slowly. They're having epiphanies. They're having realizations. They're uncomfortable where they are, and it gets more and more uncomfortable because energy is trying to move them apart. Because see, when you don't vibrate in the same vibration, then the magnetic attraction diminishes, and the only way you can stay where you are is you either have to dim your light to to be a vibrational match to who you're trying to hold on to, or you have to let them go. You just got to let them go and say, I love you, but I can love you from over there. And I'm not responsible for your life. You are a creator being. You are responsible for your own life. And, you know, you taught me things. We've learned things. We've grown together, but it's time to go. All right. And it could be, like I said, it doesn't have to be a person, can be a job or whatever. But I remember going through that when I divorced my husband. So I feel like this is what the masculine's going through. And we've got 2 aces on the bottom of the deck with the 9 of swords. And this is what I feel. I feel we get with that Chariot. Stop, go, stop, go, stop. Because see, the Charioteer is trying to control the masculine and the feminine energies who are now in close enough alignment that they can be harnessing each other, Chariot, but they're still fighting the magnetic attraction. Like here's this magnetic attraction seeking to unify them, to bring them into alignment. But their egos have not had a deep enough ego death to release the energy to come into that vibrational alignment, right? Because we believe that we're not good enough, or we're not pretty enough, or thin enough, or smart enough, or whatever we're not enough of, right? And so he doesn't feel worthy of his feminine, and she didn't feel worthy of him, and they were at one time a vibrational match. That's how they met, right? And then they grew and they raised their frequency, and the feminine kind of, because she has control of the higher portals, the higher gateways to spirit, she kind of gets to go first, right? And so I'm getting way too deep for this, spirit. What are you channeling to me? So basically, in the 3D world, for those of you who can't follow Tracy's ramblings, what's happening is the masculine is healing and awakening. The baby has to get tired of wanting milk and crave a little something more solid. And that's about the time they grow teeth. And it's about the time that they start being able to control their mechanical movements and you know, standing up. And it's like we went through this huge quantum growth spurt, and we are now, you know, the feminines are now ready to co-create. We are ready to be on mission. We are ready. We might have some dregs of coffee grounds in the bottom that, you know, still need to burp and come up and be cleared, but man, we've done a lot. And so the masculine is still very heavily burdened, and he's in the thick of it, the drudge of it, but he's swimming for the surface, and he's reaching for solid food. He's reaching for something better than the boring, unproductive, stagnant place he's been. And it's beautiful, okay? So he's growing and he's ascending, and he needs to reach out, possibly to his feminine, possibly to his current partner. But communication needs to happen pretty much everywhere. You know, if any place there's no balance in his life, if there's no balance in his work and he's a workaholic, he's going to have to balance that if he wants to have a better experience. If he doesn't want his body to be wore out, if he doesn't want to be tired all the time, if he wants to be able to laugh and have a spark in his eyes and a little bit of creative sexual energy running through his body, right? Then he's going to have to want it enough to reach for it, reach out. And so he's in the thick of it, but he's transcending. He is becoming the butterfly. He is swimming toward the light. He is reaching for the surface. And so it's very beautiful energy, girls. It really is. And all of this is going to bring him to a solid foundation, Ace of Pentacles, where he's got something solid he can bring to his feminine to strengthen bonds, right? All right, where's the feminine? Sorry, guys, I'm really channeling deep for somebody who didn't think she was called to the table, right? In my jammies, no doubt. All right, where's the feminine energy right now? Yeah, see, Six of Swords, moving on to better waters, calmer times, the healing begins, okay? And it's almost an awareness. It's like, because the masculine isn't the only one that's on a healing journey. We both are, right? She's a little further along. She's parted the veil. She's seeing beyond the veil. She is now, because remember that the feminine is the higher chakras, the masculine's the lower. But look at this beautiful light, you know, and heart is lit up. It's like a synchrony. It's like she's online. If you think of it as a computer that's been shut off, all of a sudden it's rebooted, right? And so the heart chakra is open, and the lower realms for her, where her masculine energy's been dormant for years, is now raising, like kundalini energy raising, right? And so she has parted the veil, Six of Swords. She's moving, she trusts, and she's in divine flow, and she knows she's letting spirit carry her to Paradise Island with all the lessons that she's learned. She's not quite in her full power, but she's healing, and you guys are doing great on your way, moving, and you're moving forward, which is important, despite the fact that you wanted to be the chaser. You wanted to be in control. You wanted to make things happen with your masculine, okay? But it's like this hermit mode has brought you so much spirit communication. You literally all lit up in green. This healing begins, and it's coming into I hear you are integrating all of your lessons and seeing the higher realms, the higher belief. The scales have fallen from your eyes, and you're having 20/20 vision, and this vision is coming through your third eye, not your human lower ego eyes. Tell me more about the feminine's energy at this time, please. Clarify this Hermit card. Clarify the Hermit card, please. Yeah, because she's becoming the Empress, folks. Divine Feminine is so close to her goal. All she has to do is reach out. Look at this. I feel like this energy is for both of them. Reach out. See her reaching her hand out to grab that light, to grab it, firmly hold it, and put it right where it belongs. The higher realms. It's so beautiful. It really is. As above, so below. Look at her. Through her reaching out to her spirit, to her higher self, to her inner knowing, she's healing the world, healing Mother Earth, healing. Look at her sending this beautiful energy from above to below. As above, so below. She is the birthing of a new age. She is the womb of creative energy. Girls, be very careful what you tell yourself right now. You're very fertile soil. Okay? So what you believe, you conceive. So anything that feels like fear, you need to clear it. Fear of abandonment, fear of shame, fear of being unchosen, fear of never being loved, fear of not being good enough, fear of trying something new, fear of being vulnerable, fear of speaking out, fear of loving yourself enough to go after what makes you happy if it doesn't cause harm to anybody else. You're very, very, very high frequency right now. And so what you believe, you will create. So if you're creating tower moments and 2x4s upside the head, you might want to change your thoughts. Because your superpower as a creative being is you create with your focused thoughts and attention with intention. Okay? So if you want a car and that's all you're focused on, you're going to end up with a car because you've been putting all your energy into it. If you're angry at your masculine because he's not calling you or showing up for you, that's low vibration mixed with the higher vibration. And what happens is there's this cognitive dissonance where you're going to have to dim your light to fit in, or you're going to have to hold the frequency and wait for your masculine to match it. Okay, so be very careful. Be your biggest cheerleader and your biggest fan. Do not be your biggest bully, and do not be your worst critic, because you are manifesting your reality. Do not be afraid of COVID. If you focus your attention on the Black Lives Matters, the Me movement, the dark cabal, the pedophiles, save our children. Yes, beautiful timelines that are, they're very low vibrational timelines that are beautifully being collapsed. There are star seeds, star workers already in bodies on the forefront of that. That's their mission. If you have this burning desire in your gut to do anything, move heaven and earth for the Black Lives Matter movement, it's because you're a starseed here to help initiate change, and that's your mission. And so it's a very, very dark, low vibration timeline, but it's one that your DNA is designed to match, because when you incarnated here as a volunteer soul, you chose that mission. That's where you want to be, the change that you want to see. And so follow your gut intuition. If you really believe you're in the thick of that, I've got a friend, Dylan Monroe is his name. I love this boy. He's so brilliant. And his sole mission is to expose the cabal and the deep state. And he has a website called the deepstatemappingproject.com. Go check him out. Brilliant work. He is a light worker whose sole mission during this awakening is to initiate change in those very low vibrational timelines. And so how you can get on mission is follow what you intuitively have this burning desire in your belly to fix. Make sure it's not anger or resentment. Like if you were molested as a child and you want to go into somebody's establishment that's been dubbed a pedophile and burn it to the ground with all of their animals and children, and that's not light work. That's not it's still initiating change, because nothing's good or bad. God uses everything for the betterment of everybody, but it's very low vibrational and will earn you more karma, and then you're still stuck in these lower realms. So the masculine is stuck in this Eight of Swords energy because he is stuck still in the lower realms, and he's trying to free himself into a higher vibration. And the feminine's already kind of there, or very, very near, because we're all on different steps, on the same different steps, right? Don't sit down and wait for them, girls. You cannot just sit and wait, because that's the energy that both of you are embodying at this time, is awaiting results. Okay? You have to let him reach, and you need to reach. Both of you need to reach. You can't stay still. You can't sit down and wait on the other. You have your own mission, your own foundation, your own beginning. The core of what you're going to be together needs to be built separately before you're a vibrational match. Bottom of the deck. Oh my God. Okay, so bottom of the deck is the masculine. Now we've got divine feminine and divine masculine on the board. Okay, we've got Emperor, Empress energy, and we've got third party situation. This is now the second three that we have had. Third three that we have had. Let me get them and show them to you. Okay, 3, 3, 3. So yes, a lot of the masculines, where'd I put him? There he is. A lot of the masculines are in third-party situations. And like I said, it's not always another person. It could be a situation. They could be married to their job. They could be married to their children. I know I've been online dating and met a few guys who have a hard time dating because they feel like they're cheating on their children, right? So there's a third-party energy right here, stuck right in between divine masculine, divine feminine at this time. Okay, and this is causing this hanged man energy. So, yeah, if you want to get to your wish fulfillment, you've got a journey. You got a journey, and you. The thing is, in the twin flame journey, is we want to journey together, but we need to wake up to who we are and remember there's a bigger picture. And sometimes our journey is separate. We have to journey. There's part of our journey that is journeyed alone. Okay, facing our darkest fears. clearing, healing. It's a journey. You're going off into the wilderness. You're going into the chrysalis. You're changing. You're thinking and learning and growing and expanding your consciousness. And so that happens separately so that you can blossom, find balance, heal your childhood shadows by detaching from the emotion, right? Because emotions are energy in motion, and what we emotionally believe is what we keep reproducing in our lives. So we need to detach from those emotions, heal them, and free them. Look, she's holding her hand out and releasing this dove. It's like, I love you. I want you here. But if you love something, you set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it never was. So you're being told that this is a time of detachment. Okay? Trust the plan. Trust the plan. You're in a phase of separation. Not everybody, because there are many waves that have incarnated. There are some twins who are already in union, and they're on a higher dimension, a higher timeline. They've raised their vibration together so that they're not having the same timeline and experiences as we are. We will transcend that also. Okay? And then we come together, Two of Cups, guys. With Six of Cups, our divine counterpart, our soulmate, right? Simply love. That's what we're creating. We are holding the new template, the new operating system. We're going from Windows 7 to Windows Billion, whatever. We are integrating higher dimensional consciousness, right? Through the release process, you have to let go of everything. Nothing can own you. You can't be a sovereign being if you're attached to anything or anyone. You see, when you come into full union with your masculine in a body, you're not going to own him. You're not going to marry him and make him sign on the dotted line. Maybe you will, but in your heart, you're more free than that. You are your own person. They are their own person. You don't infringe your wants, desire. They don't have to complete or fulfill you because you're needy. They complete and fulfill you because you're not. That's a conundrum, but that's union. So seeking the truth, putting in the work, dedicated effort, teach, because some of us need to teach. Some of us are being taught, right? And the mirroring is exactly what needs to happen. During the mirroring process, you have to breathe your way through it and you have to integrate what you're learning. This puts you in this divine flow state, right? Wheel of Fortune. Get in the flow, get in the boat, pull your feet up, that full energy where, it's like, I just trust that my higher self is leading me and guiding me in exactly where I need to be. And so I'm going to ascend. I'm going to open up and be free enough to trust and have faith that I am heading for the highest and best life that I can create, right? Spreading my wings. Then you get to this equal reciprocity, which you've never had. If you're a twin flame, you've never had it. I don't care what you say. You can argue with me till you're blue in the face, but the DNA implant of brokenness that the twins come from is this feeling of unworthiness, right? We're givers, we're overgivers. We give and give and give. The masculines, they feel bound to their karmic partners because of duty, because they're givers, they care. How will she survive without me? What about she doesn't make as much money as I do. How they care, guys. Some of them truly care. They just don't love them anymore. They don't jive, they don't vibe. They're not in resonance anymore. It's an old contract. They've cleared that karma. It's time to let that person go. But it's hard when you're an overgiver, when you're an over nurturer, right? And so we all tether ourselves to things and let them own us. We think we own them, but really, truly, what you own owns you, right? So you have to cut cords with everything that burdens you, everything that you don't enjoy being tethered to. And then you open up to receive and you become the magnet. You're not the repellent anymore. You are a magnet. You are magnetically drawing into you because your vibration raised, right? And theirs didn't. And so they get a choice. They can raise their vibration and go with you, or they have to fall away. And the Six of Pentacles is the energy that we're trying to get to before this beautiful union, this alchemy, this two becoming one, right? This healing. You have to free your, oh my God, Spirit is really channeling this message. Look at this card. I just was talking about you have to cut cords, unchain, unburden your heart from everything that no longer is yours. If you love it, set it free. If it's yours, it comes back. If it don't, it never was. The law of attraction, the law of vibration. If it's not meant for you, let it go. Heal. Move on. Then you're open to receive. You see, energy is fluid like water. It seeks to level off. If you go with a cup and take a big cup full of water out of the bathtub or out of a bucket or out of the ocean, you're not going to know you took it because everything levels off and it looks just like it did before you stole part of it, right? And so you have to sacrifice something in your energetic field, which is all the stuff that no longer vibrates with you. And then you become that magnet. You become worthy. You start loving yourself. You've got a new thought. And that thought is, what about me? What about my happiness? What about my joy? What about my desires? My, and not in a very low vibrational ego way, but in this new beautiful way of, I can have it. I can do this. I believe that I'm worthy of this. I believe that those kind of people have always been in my life and they've never really brought me joy. So why do I keep giving them all of my love and attention and affection? And so things change. And now you don't want to give all the time. You want a little back, right? You're like, what about me? Can I have just a little bit? Please, Spirit, am I worthy? Am I a beggar? If I put my hand out and say, can I receive too? And so that ego has to die away. That's old programming brought in through the Christian and conformed religions of the beggar, right? You don't have to beg for God's love. God's here, not up in a cloud somewhere judging you. You don't have to fall at his feet and kiss his toes and be unworthy your whole life until you do some magnificent thing to become worthy. You were born worthy. It's your sovereign right. It's your right as a human being with a soul, part of Creator Source. God is everything. Everything is God, the Alpha, the Omega, the past, the present, the future, everything that was, everything that is, everything that shall be, and you are part of that. That is your inheritance. You are a creator being from a creator race, from a creator God, and you are worthy. And now, instead of begging for what you so sovereignly deserve, it is your inherent right. It is your inheritance. You've always had it. You never lost it. You just didn't believe in it. And so now you get into this loving, heart open space of receiving, and you're like, I deserve it. And all the red flags in the world are showing me what I don't want. And I couldn't see that before, and I can see it now. And when they misbehave and don't show up the way they're supposed to, I say, no. No, you're not ready. I'm not ready. That's not the right way. You can't be married. You can't be living with somebody. You can't be willing to give your employer more time than you give us. And you just can't. You've got to show up where I'm at. You're going to have to raise your vibration and get to where I'm at because I'm worthy to receive. And they have to get there too. They've got to believe that they are worth it, that their wants, their needs, it's not selfish to put your needs in the mix. If you do it with ego, if you say it's my way or the highway and I don't care who gets hurt and I'll stomp on every person that tries to hold me down, that's not the vibration of love. So that's not a twin flame union energy. Twin flame union energy is both of you finally get it. You understand, know thyself, right? God is not in a cloud. God is in your heart and always has been. Mother, Father, God, because it took both to create, right? And so This is where we need to get to be. We need to be willing to receive. Most of us are really good at giving. We're just not good at receiving. We don't know our value. We don't know our worth. We don't know that we're special. We don't know that we've always been special. And we're no specialer than anybody else. It's just we're all special. And we were all made to feel like we were sinners, less than, beggars. And that's a belief system that certain entities out there want us to believe because it makes us fearful. Fear of dying, fear of losing everything, fear of hell, fear of condemnation, fear of judgment. They created that for you and you bought it. And because you bought it, you experience it, you align with it, you're a vibrational match to it. And all it creates is more fear, and that fear is their food. It's what they feed off of, like leeches, sucking on your sovereign God energy until you're so depleted that you can't even create for yourself anymore because you're so busy creating for them. And so your sovereignty is where you're headed, and that's where he's headed. And this is share the love. Another three, guys. You know, heart mending. It's like God is soldering these two halves, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, back into unity. You got to unify in your heart space first. You got to love yourself because you are the embodied, you're in that body. That's your other side. But you've got to love it here first. You've got to marry it here first. You have to want to be loved and accept nothing less than the love you deserve. And in order to have that, you have to have a very big belief system of what you deserve, right? Because if you think you deserve breadcrumbs, breadcrumbs is what you're going to get. If you think you deserve much more, you're going to not accept the breadcrumbs, and they're going to have to level up. And that big fear that you have that they're not capable, that they're not going to do it, that they're not strong enough, they're not spiritual enough, they're not, bullshit. They've got the same team working for them as you do. The problem is you're a little more connected because you're the upper realms, the upper rooms. He's got a little farther to climb, right? Wow, I channeled a lot for you guys, man. You got to go way back. A lot of climbing. So you're being told, Divine Feminine, that success and growth, he's going to get single. 9 of Pentacles, he's going to open up to you because he's listening to his higher self. He had to feel lonely and worthy. He had to hit bottom before he could climb his way to his top and embrace the new higher world. Look, it's a whole new world. A new fantastic point of view. Whatever. Got it? Is the message coming through? You're going to share the love, but this healing, this mending, this coming together, this union in your heart has to happen first. And so you got to let go of control. You know, it takes a lot of strength to give up control. To just say, and so it is, and have faith and create. Oh my God, and look what's next. Create the magic, right? Create it with your thoughts, your focus, your intention, your desires, and you don't have that little monkey mouth anymore saying, but what if? What if he doesn't like you? What if he finds you repulsive? What if you put up boundaries and he runs away forever? You're going to have to create by daydreaming, by visualizing, by seeking, by focusing your attention with intention. Look at this. And you cannot create from the past. If you're going to manifest with your focus and attention with intention, you're going to have to change your focus. You're going to have to look forward, not backward. You're going to have to forgive and release and let go of control and be in that flow state. And this frees you up to look at the sun, enlightenment. This is the ascension. This is the heart chakra blasting open, downloading codes, freeing, becoming sovereign, right? Because you believed it, you succeeded, you created it, you launched those rockets of desire, right? You took off that helmet that kept you asleep and unaware and refusing to choose and see. And they, you were blocking your heart, you were closed off, you weren't open to receive. So challenging times, right? And then we get back to where we started, guys, the Chariot. Now, because you've unified within, you can unify without into unconditional love, yin and yang, perfect balance, perfect synergy, perfect love, and you will be the template for those who are coming after you. This has been a beautiful reading, guys. I hope you liked it. Please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like your own personal private reading, reach out. I'm channeling like crazy. I'm going to have to do some research and see what the planetary alignments are, because I think I'm tapping into something really, really high vibrational, and these messages have been just flowing. So if you need me, this is my mission. Now would be the time. Okay, and I'm not just trying to make money, although money is very important. It's an exchange of energy that allows me to do what I do. Donations allow me to do what I do. Decks, you want to buy me a deck, send me a donation. Tell me what kind of deck you want to buy me. I'll go buy it. I haven't figured out the wish list thing yet. Somebody told me all I have to do is create a wish list and put a P.O. box and we're done. But I got to go figure that out because I am not that technical. Okay? But if you want to help this mission, and if you need help, if you believe you're a star worker, if you believe you're a light worker, if you believe you're awakening out of the matrix and things aren't what you thought they were, and you feel crazy, like nobody's going to understand you, nobody's going to get it, nobody can tell you what you need to hear because you need to hear it from higher dimensional beings, that's my mission. I am just the straw that brings the milkshake to the yard. Damn right. It's better than your... No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that, my milkshake brings all the twins to the yard. Damn right. They're going to get it right. I don't know, make up a rap song, but whatever. I'm not God. I'm not going to fix you, but I'm going to open your eyes, and I'm going to be the straw that brings the knowledge that you need at the time you need it. So if you think that's something that you want, and if it's written on your heart, because you'll know, if it's one of those things like, I don't know, I can't afford it, I don't want to, whatever, you're not being called. But if you're being called, I'm here. Okay? Love and light, and I will see you maybe at the full moon. I've been so busy doing private readings, I've lost track of days and times. I don't even know when the new or full moon is. Could be tonight for all I know. Could have been yesterday. But I'm going to Google it and do some research, and if I haven't missed it, I'm going to channel a message for it, and maybe we'll do a live feed again. Okay? Namaste, guys.